What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of StoneBlock. Oh yeah, guys, so last episode we made a whole bunch of these emerald chickens. Yep, we made all of these guys to help with our EMC production. We are able to get into making the Mark II energy condenser. Is that what it's called? What's this thing called? Energy condenser Mark II. Yeah, we made this guy. And we also made the extreme crafting table, which is going to let us get into some crazy recipes going forward. But pretty much every single one of these recipes does require neutronium. Well, neutronium ingots. Some of them require neutronium nuggets. And I think there might be a few that require piles of neutrons. Anyway, none of these items here have EMC. So we have to get them all by hand, by the natural Avaridia way, right? So the only way to get these things, it doesn't show in JEI, the only way to get that is the Neutron collector, this guy. So this is an extreme crafting recipe, and what this does is it produces one tiny pile of neutrons about every 5 minutes. One tiny pile of neutrons, well, I guess 9 tiny piles of neutrons will turn into a neutron nugget, and 9 nuggets will turn into an ingot. So we need 81 neutrons, tiny piles, in order to make an ingot, right? Yeah, at 5 minutes per 81, yeah, it's a long time. So pretty much what we need to do is make a ridiculous amount of these neutron collectors, and thankfully they have EMC. So we got to make one, then we can dupe it, and then we can make a whole bunch of them and get the neutrons at a reasonable speed, or at least more reasonable anyway. So that is 3.1 million EMC. And let's look at our emerald supply. Our emerald supply now has 802 million, so we should be able to make a fair few of these things, I would think. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, so let's look at making a neutron collector. So to do this, we need to get ourselves 10 blocks of quartz. We'll grab a stack, because I'm not going to count out 10. We need to get ourselves some iron. We'll grab a stack, because I'm not going to count it out. We also need redstone, I believe. What else did we need here? The crystal matrix ingot. Again, I'm not sure, but we have enough, so I can just pull out a stack, and I think that is everything. Okay, so now we can come to this thing, click on here, and press the button. I press the button. There we go, and there is a neutron collector. Awesome. Okay, so that completes a quest. Quest complete, neutron. Where is that quest at? Ah, it's right here. Okay, so Neutron quest complete. Let's go ahead and claim it. And we're going to check out our loot chest before I forget about it. And we get Mana Steel. It's a rare reward. Not so great, but, you know, it's a thing. Anyway, so Neutron collector. So in order to convert into EMC, we need another, or in order to make more of these from EMC, we need other blocks or other items that contain EMC to transmute into this thing, right? So emerald is what we're doing. We made all of those emerald chickens, so we are going to just go crazy here. So we will wrong thing, this one. oh yeah, so I've also been doing some things around the base here. Before we get to duping this thing, let's go on a little tour. Down here I added in more drawers. We added in all the different drawers for all the different ores that we are collecting in our mining dimension, thanks to our tier 4, or is it tier 5, void ore miner. Anyway, so we have all those there. I took all of our discs and I put it through a disc manipulator. And in fact, I tried making more than one to see if we could get to go faster, because this machine goes very, very slow, even with like the speed upgrades in there and the stack upgrades. Anyway, so that works just the same way as the item from Applied Energistics 2, the I/O port, where you can put a disk in, it'll take all the data off and throw it into your system. So stuff that, for instance, can go into drawers will go into those drawers. Everything else stays on the disks. Right. So we were like at 5 or 6 of these disks with red lights, and I was like, all right, it's about time before we run out of space here to put everything into the drawers and get that taken care of. So I did that. I ended up making an ender chest. As you saw there, I was duplicating one previously. So we now have an ender chest here that's collecting all the resources. Oh, whoops. we have an ender chest here that's now collecting all the resources. So everything that goes in there goes into our refined storage system. Yep, and then that ends up in the drawers or wherever it needs to go. Our other one over here, I haven't messed with. I took all of the mica out of here, I guess, except for these 14 that just got collected. I took all the mica that was in here and I put it back in the system, but I don't think we're really needing much more from this thing. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on. So we are now collecting all these resources instead of putting them into the storage crates that we had here previously. And then that ender chest, the white channel 1, right? It's coming here. So all the items get put into this same ender chest and gets imported into the system with the speed upgrades, stack upgrades, and that goes right into the drawers as it should. So everything that we are collecting there ends up down here. That's pretty awesome. So we don't have to worry about resource collection anymore. Anyways, let's get back to this thing. So there's so many of these guys around. We want to put the neutron collector here, and then we want to put a stack of emerald blocks. That gets us 2. So we can expect that we will have, I was going to say 2 per every inventory slot here, 27 times 2. I don't know, something like that. Doesn't really matter. So we got a stack plus 17. Okay, so actually we might need more than that. So it is 1 tiny pile of neutrons every 5 minutes per one of these. So if we have 81 of these neutron collectors, that means we get 1 ingot every 5 minutes, right? So we're probably going to want more than that. Yeah, actually, let's do that. Emerald. Let's just keep going here. We're going to use up a whole lot of our emeralds. And we can also fortune these guys as well to get more of them. And we can also use a cheaty wand of cheatiness to get them a little bit faster. Oh, I unset that thing. Did that not get set? That was weird. Okay. All right, so we have a fair few of these things. So I think what we're going to end up doing, I think we're going to use item conduit to extract out of these things. I don't know how many of these we need. Something like that. Probably less than that since we don't have 3 stacks. We're going to do that. We'll put it into a compacting drawer. Or actually, maybe we'll just set up the tiny piles of neutrons here. And it'll automatically compact, and we can just import them into an ender chest. I think that might make more sense. Yeah, let's do it that way. Okay, so we'll go to the mining dimension, just someplace to set these down. It doesn't matter. They don't need light. You could put them in a cave, but we'll just go to the mining dimension anyway, since we got a bunch of random things just kind of like sitting out anyway. So we'll take over a new chunk here. Let's hit F9 a couple of times. So this is our chunk. This will be the center, and we will place down a few of these things. You know what? We could probably just fill up the entire chunk, yeah? Let's do something like this. I think that'll be okay. Well, yeah, you know what? That'll be fine. That'll be fine. I'm trying to second guess myself. Do we have a wand? No wand, huh? Okay, well, I'm just going to place all these blocks then. All right, guys, so I made a few more of the neutron collectors, more than what we made before. And I was trying to fill up the entire chunk, but you can see we're a little bit short right now. I didn't want to use up all of our emeralds, all of our EMC, all right now. We can fill this out later. It's not really a huge issue, but as long as we get these things going, that's all that really matters. So anyway, over here was the first one that I placed, and you can see that we now have a pile of neutrons. Try not to think about it. So we have one of these. So we can take this guy and set that back at the base. Let's go home real quick. That was turned off. That had me frightened for just a moment. So this guy we will place right here, and that'll convert into the nugget and into the ingot. So all we need to do is start collecting the tiny piles back at the base, and everything will be happy, and I'll turn into ingots for us automatically. Okay, so these are all set to the default setting right now. None of these are set to extract automatically. We'll go ahead and set this one to always active. We'll use our conduit probe. Actually, what we're going to do here, let's do this. Go back in here. Always active extract. Let's change this to like a red channel. This will make it very easy to see if we have copied this setting. So if we take this thing, we shift right click, we copy the conduit setting. If we paste it here, we can tell for sure that we have copied it properly because the channel changes red, right? So we'll go through and click all of these things, make them all red. I'll have to do this to every single one of them. It is kind of an annoying thing to do, but you know, got to do what you got to do, right? Alternatively, we could also use like the, what are those pipes from? The transfer nodes from extra utilities. Those might be a little bit simpler to get set up. I'm not sure. I don't think we have any GP power, the grid power stuff to make those run. But with a retrieval node, you wouldn't have to set the setting on every single one of these. All you need to do is place down all the pipe, put a retrieval node down, and then put speed upgrades in it. So it'd probably be faster setup. I don't know if it's faster overall or more efficient or whatever, but I guess since these only make an item once every 5 minutes, that doesn't matter. But anyway, this is set to insert on the green. We'll change that insert on the red. So now we're getting the tiny pile of neutrons. So we should have some nuggets back at the base, but I need to go through and set all of these things to red. So I'm going to go down each one of these rows and just double check that we have every single one of these set. Let me do that real quick. We'll get all these things producing neutrons and we'll be back, guys. Okay, guys, so all the neutrons are coming back to the base. So we have 2 neutronium ingots right now, and then I guess some nuggets and some tiny piles. So yeah, we're doing pretty okay, I would say. Yeah, that's not bad. All right, so now that we got that underway, we're going to need a whole lot of those things, guys, like a ridiculous amount. I feel like we're going to have to stack what we just did probably 20 times high in order to get the amount of neutrons that we want. But I wanted to get that done early so we can start preparing for the future, like these infinity catalysts, for instance. Infinity catalyst, these guys require us to have a 1 ingot, 1 nugget, and 1 tiny pile, which isn't that bad. It requires us to have one of those in order to make this, but if we look at what this is used for, 2 of those gets used for making the infinity helmet, plus all of these neutronium ingots, plus if we look at an infinity ingot, the infinity ingot requires all of these neutronium ingots, plus all these infinity catalysts. Yeah, so it's like a really, really ridiculous amount of neutronium that we're going to need going forward. So the sooner we get that done, the better. So we're probably going to want to look at generating a whole lot of EMC very soon so we can duplicate the neutron collectors and stack that very, very tall and get a lot of those things. Actually, you know what? I was just realizing right now, I don't think I chunk loaded that chunk. Yeah, that's probably going to help us in the future too if this thing's chunk loaded. Let's do that real quick. So we come here, we will claim this chunk and then shift, left click, chunk loads it. Okay, so now when we're in another dimension in the overworld, whatever, we should still continue to collect these things. That would have been a pretty terrible oversight if we left that like that. We never would have collected any more. Anyway, so now that that's done, let's go back to our quest book and see if we can knock something else out. So we saw the Infinity Catalyst is a little bit out of our reach right now. It does require all of the singularities, these things, and each one of those requires a certain amount of the different blocks. So Emerald block, 11,400 just for this one singularity. We don't really have the EMC to support all of the different singularities that we're going to need, so we'll hold off on that for right now. Let's look at some of these other quests that we can do. This end quest, we've been to the end before. We've collected end rods, we've had end stone, we've had obsidian, but we never made an evil tier. Now, we're not going to actually set up this way of getting to the end since we already have a warp there, but we're going to do just one evil tier to complete this quest. So evil tier requires us to have a wither skeleton skull, a ghast tier, and an ender pearl. So we have all of those things. We'll go ahead and make that and we'll complete the quest. So that's done. We'll claim our loot chest. Hopefully we get the best item in the game, and that is going to be an Invar hammer. Okay, it's not the best item. I lied. I'm a liar. Anyway, so we have that all done. Deep Dark. This is a thing we've been trying to collect items for a long time. The compressed cobblestone that we have been collecting does have EMC, so we no longer have to have this setup running, although we have been collecting quite a lot of EMC in the form of quadruple compressed cobblestone, right? So each one of those is like 500,000. Well, I guess that's not a whole lot, but anyway, we've collected all of this stuff. So let's take a look. Deep Dark Portal requires us to have the sextuple plus the septuple and quintuple. Okay, so pretty much we need to take all of our quadruples, put them into the system here, and then upgrade them to the next tier. So that gives us exactly 2 stacks of quintuple compressed cobblestone, really. Okay, exactly 2 stacks. So we'll take these and then we will upgrade those to the next one. And we get 2 of the quintuple leftovers, and then we have sextuple, and that should give us the septuple. Okay, you know what? I think we have exactly enough here. Well, maybe not exactly, but we have enough. So 1 septuple, 4 sextuple, and then 4 quintuple. So there's the 4 of those, and then, 4 of those, and then we can uncompress that back like so, and that's all the blocks that we needed. Okay, so our collection process has worked out rather well. Let's, oh no, can I break this? Whoops. Okay, we're fine. So we will put the septuple, the sextuple, and the quintuple right there. And there's our portal to the deep dark. Oh man, that's awesome. I don't know if it's really something we need at the moment, but it's still pretty awesome that it's another quest complete. And we did it all through the cobblestone generators, no EMC involved. So we'll claim this chest and we'll get the best item in the game, which is Speed Upgrade Ultimate. Okay, you know what? That's not bad, but again, we don't have any GP, so these aren't very useful at the moment. So Deep Dark Portal. I'm not sure if there's anything in the Deep Dark that we need particularly at the moment, but we'll just add this to our collection of warps over here, I suppose. All right, so do you just stand on here? Okay, you just stand on it. It does a swirly thing. Before we get too swirled in there, let's grab some torches. We don't have any torches. Okay, so coal. We're gonna need a lot of these things. Coal and stick. Now, is there the lantern of paranoia in here? No. Is there the torch thrower thingy? Torch launcher? We have this. Automatic torch. Torches the darkness while in your inventory. This is what we're looking for. Something like this. Okay. So let's grab one of these. Right click toggle on. Okay, so I don't know if it just uses my torches to do this or how this works. I guess we'll find out. Let's grab a few more torches then. So we want coal and we want stick. Let's do this. Whoa, too many. Okay. I'm surprised that the torches don't have EMC. Anyway, so we'll go ahead and stand on this thing and hopefully the torch, auto torch placer thingy from Cyclic will do something for us. All right, so we're loading into a new dimension. It's got to load some terrain. I'm not sure how the deep dark is in this mod pack. Oh, it's all white. Okay, we're fine. All right, so this is our loading room here. I guess I will set a waypoint here. We'll call this one add new deep dark, and we will commit, lock it. Okay, very good. So let's go over here and we'll just dig straight down. You know, the best thing that you can do in Minecraft is to dig straight down. We'll just go ahead and do that because reasons. And apparently I'm stuck in some kind of a blocking, some kind of block lag here. Nope, there's still another block there. Let's fill that in. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, look at that. It's automatically placing a torch for me. I didn't have to do anything. Every time I break this block, it's just placing a torch. That's nice. Will it place one on the wall? It doesn't appear to place one on the wall. Yeah, I wasn't sure how this thing was gonna work. But that's kind of nice though. In the deep dark, if you are at too low of a light level, you start taking, I think, suffocation style damage. It's a little different. Are we going through like a pillar? I feel like we should be in the open area by now. We're at Y120, okay. We're at Y120, okay. Let's go ahead and torch this tunnel up so if we ever come down here again, we don't have to worry about being in complete darkness. It does matter the light level of the air blocks you're in, not just the light level of the block you're standing on. So it looks like that spider knows about me. Looks like those skeletons, as we were falling down, were trying to shoot me. That's a creepy looking Enderman. What's this guy? Okay, actually, you know what? I don't know if we have to worry about taking suffocation damage because of the armor that we have on. Okay, so as we're walking around, it places the torches. Is that how that works? It placed that one. Yeah, it's just placing torches as I walk. So that's not quite like the Lantern of Paranoia, which would just throw torches everywhere that needs to be. This is only placing torches like as we stand on a block. Okay. Oh, this is one of those underground biome things. What is this thing, though? This is an actually Additions green crystal. Interesting. All right. I am kind of just interested in seeing what is all here. Yeah, that's another one of the underground biome thingies down here. So the mobs in the deep dark, I believe, have twice the health as normal mobs. In previous versions of this mod, or I guess in this dimension, oop, I can't see anything now. In previous versions of this, there was like random structures around that you could find. I don't know if they've re-added those, so I kind of was interested just to fly around for a moment here and see if we could see anything like that. The pillars and the stalagmites are all fairly much the same as they were before. I'm not seeing any structures, so there might not be any. This might just be a dimension where you can come in and mine. I do believe the ores that you find in the deep dark are twice as common as like in any other dimension. Maybe even more so than the mining dimension. I'm not entirely sure on that though. Oh yeah. See, we're taking damage now because we're in too much darkness for too long. All right. Bat, lava. Okay. So the damage really isn't doing much to us since we have full saturation. It's just kind of annoying. Hey, there's a tree that grew here. That's interesting. But yeah, it's kind of preventing us from moving around, right? It is a little annoying, so we'll just stop, place down a torch. More trees over here. It is kind of interesting that that happened. Okay. But anyway, I'm not seeing anything like super interesting here in the deep dark. So really, I guess this is just another mining dimension. And we were able to get here from all the cobblestone generating that we did previously. So let's just warp out. Unless there's some reason to go there, which I doubt, we probably won't be doing much there in the future. But anyway, yeah, we completed yet another quest, and pretty much everything on the first page is done except for waiting on Neutronium, which we will have to do going forward. Alright guys, so I was kind of looking through the quest book at something else that we could do. We could start looking at getting to the next tier solar panels. So solar panel 7... let's take a look at that. Solar panel. So we've already made the 6s. This is an extra one that we had left over, and the rest of them are in the mining dimension on our vibrant capacitor bank. So that would be this guy right here. That requires the 5 and the photovoltaic cell 4s and some other such things, right? So if we wanted to go to the next one, the green one, solar panel 7, this guy does require a photovoltaic cell 5, plus we require some of the solar panel 6s, right? And Dragon's Breath. So we should have some of these things here. Let's take a look at the solar panel 7, this guy. Okay, so we have the one solar panel. Now this guy does have EMC, which is gonna make our life easy. So let's do emerald. Our emerald supply is looking a lot thinner than it was before, but that's fine. We'll come over here. We will place a solar panel in that guy. We just made 9 of them. That's all we got to do. I was going to make a lot more, but we don't need it. Okay, so now that we have that, we can fill those guys in. That's all of them that we need for this recipe. And then we need the photovoltaic cell 5. So we can do that. It requires the 4 diamond block quartz glowstone blaze rod. So here's that. Well, let's go ahead and make some more of these things. We'll place that right there, and we'll just scroll in some of those. Okay, I think that's probably all we need. All right, so now that we have that, we can place those in our system here and tell it to make a solar panel 7, right? Okay, so there we go. Oh, does that give you glass bottles back when you make that recipe, or did that autofill? I'm not sure. Interesting. Anyway, so these have EMC. Each one of these generates 8,192 forge energy per tick. The previous tier did 2,000, so that is 4 times as strong for each one of these solar panels, which is pretty impressive, I think. That does complete our quest, so let's claim this reward here. We'll claim it. We will open it, and we get nature cores. Okay, don't really need those at the moment. But anyway, we can upgrade those even further to the solar panel tier 8. That does require dragon eggs, photovoltaic cell 6. So let's do one of those. So there's a photovoltaic cell 6. I feel like we should probably copy these, and I think we needed a little bit more of the 7s as well. So we'll place that here. We will scroll in some of these things, make some of those, okay? And then we will put in our solar panel here and scroll on some of those, okay? So now we have that. We should be able to start looking at the next tier solar panel. Oh yeah, dragon egg does require some dragon eggs, and those have EMC. Let's go ahead and copy these things so we don't have to go and fight another dragon. That should be more than enough. Probably should move that chest over here by our crafting area, but it's fine, it's fine. All right, so we have all of this stuff. Now we can do this guy. Very good. So there's a solar panel tier 8. This does 32,700 FE forge energy per tick. The ones we're currently using, again, is 2,000 each. So these are significantly better. Yeah, these are 16 times better, in fact. So now that we have these, we can take a look at grabbing some more of the emerald. Something like that. We complete our quest, and I want to make a few of these. I don't know how many we need here, but I would like to swap out what we're currently doing in the mining dimension with these higher tier ones. 36, that's probably more than what we need, but we're going to do it anyway. So we'll go to the mining dimension here. Yeah, I think that's way more than what we need. We should be able to vein mine these things away. So now all of our power is gone, and we're just draining our capacitor. We're doing 18,000 FE per tick right now. If I place one of those there, is that not gaining? How much? Why is that not gaining? This is supposed to do... Oh, I put the wrong one down. Derp. This one. One of these makes it so we're not using any power at all. In fact, we're gaining 14,000 FE per tick from one of those. So if we place all these down, we essentially have all the power that we need right now. Yeah, we don't have anything that's using quite this much power, but I feel like, you know, we might as well just go ahead and do something like this anyway. And we have 3 extras, not a big deal. And then we can convert these into EMC and maybe make more of these or something along those lines. But yeah, like we have literally all of the power right now. And then each one of those themselves hold 128 million FE. Yeah, it's going to be really difficult for us to even touch this, especially since we're in an always sunny dimension and we have the wireless power transfer from this thing. This is going to allow us to do all of the Draconic Evolution, fusion crafting, and then maybe if we go crazy, we might look at the tier 8 Draconic Energy Ball, maybe trying to fill it. Probably won't be able to fill it. That thing like holds like stupid amounts of power. In fact, we would probably want one of these things or many of these Draconic solar ones in order to even look at doing that. The Wyvern ones require the 8s plus that, so that's a star plus these, which actually that's not too bad. So it's essentially half another star per one of these Wyvern solar panels, and then of course 4 of these 8s, and that would do 65,536 versus the 32,768 that we're currently doing. Yeah, so again, we would double up and be able to produce twice the amount of power, but do we need that right now? No, not really, but it would be something kind of interesting to do regardless. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap the episode up here for today. We got some good stuff going on. We're finally able to collect all of the neutrons, or at least some of them, to get us going. We will have to look at generating more EMC in the future, right? We want to make more of these neutron collectors so we have a chance of ever getting into Avaridia and making like the infinity armor and the other things that are required, all the infinity ingots. This isn't going to get us anywhere. We're not on a server here. We're on a single player world. So we're pretty much limited to collecting items at a rate of however long I'm logged into the world, right? Yeah, we need a lot more of these things, a stupid amount. We'll look at that in the future. I think there is RF Tools Dimensions, so we might look at doing like a Emerald Block World or something along those lines, like we've done in the past in Project Ozone 2. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.